Welcome to High Tech Realty and welcome to Selling Sioux Falls, Build It or Buy It. I'm Cher and I'm sitting here with Tim Luke, who's my real estate partner, and he's going to introduce our guest for us.
Sure, this is Joel Mcdowell from Core Real Estate, the lot store, and I'm gonna just let Joel tell you what he does, and we'll go from there.
All right, fantastic. Thanks for having me today.
Sure.
As Tim said, my name is Joel McDowell. I came to Sioux Falls in January of 1991 to visit my sister and never left. And proceeded to spend the next 13 years in banking, the last 5, which was mortgage and construction lending. And that's where I caught the bug for development. I saw what the people on the outside were bringing into the bank, and it appeared that they were having more fun than maybe I was at that time. And that was in the height of the mortgage boom and refi boom. And so I started out by buying a couple of twin home lots and worked with a buddy, and we built a couple of twin homes, and then started doing some spec homes and hired some real estate professionals to market those. And being the enterprising person that I am, I thought, and I liked my real estate partners, but I thought, why in the world would I pay them to sell products that I know more about than possibly they do? So 2006, got my real estate license, worked for a bigger firm in Sioux Falls, and then at my first availability was able to start my own firm.
Awesome.
While I was building, I stood in line at the lumberyard 2 times waiting for plans to be done. No knock against the lumberyards, they're fantastic. But I decided right then and there that I would probably want to handle my own drafting and design. Very technical. I knew that there was 3D design software out there. I found the software first, then found the person that could run the software. Eric is still drawing with me today. We were, to my knowledge, the first ones in this market back in 2005 to start with 3D architectural drafting.
Wow.
And so
cool.
It's been very beneficial. The real estate and construction economy collapsed in 2008. And so from 2008 to 2012, still continued to do real estate. Found myself in a position where I could work with capital investors on acquiring development land. And so that's where I developed the strategy of helping people find the lot, design the home. If they have a builder, that's fantastic. If they don't, I have a network of builders. I no longer build them. It's a younger man's game. I just ensure that they get built the right way. And that's all the way from finding the lot, design the home, find the builder, and then selling their departure residence.
Beautiful.
And so that is what I do on a daily basis.
Wow.
Oh, that sounds like fun. We'll have to come out and film some of your job sites and what you got going on, and
Yeah.
take a look at your shop sometime. And
Yeah, we recently, I jokingly, but it's the truth, say that I'm a hick from Nebraska. And I grew up in a shop. My dad was an independent fertilizer dealer, and we had a house right next to the shop. And so now I have a house right next to the shop, and the shop is where we office. And so a couple minutes south of Sioux Falls. Thankfully, or unfortunately, due to COVID, we have recently started doing plan presentations through Google Meet, and it's fantastic.
Great.
When people come out when they drive the 10 minutes south of town to come and see their plan on a big screen, we found out that they do the same thing when they're at home. We send them a link. The difference is they don't have to find a place for the kids to go.
Right.
So we'll do plan presentations anytime that they want. I watched Eric do one today. If they sit out at our shop, they sit at the conference table and look at the screen. If they sit at home, they sit at their kitchen table and look at the screen. So it's really no different. The only difference is when they're at the conference table, they look at the screen and they look at Eric and they look at the screen. Now Eric's up in the corner of the screen and they just stare straight forward.
Wow.
Cool.
That's
And
awesome.
so it really is, it's just been turned out to be fantastic.
So when we refer a client to you that decides to build, what do you think is the time frame process that they can expect to identify a lot and to complete a home? And then do you also bid out the plans to different builders if they haven't found one?
Yeah, to answer your first question, I say this again jokingly, but dead serious. We can draw as fast as people can make decisions.
Oh,
And that's where the
right.
fun begins.
Okay.
Because
Wow.
there are those that they know what they want, they come in, they tell us, we draw it, we show it in 3D, we make some revisions, and we get them out of there. Then there are those that come in, they don't have a clue what they want. They sit there and wring their hands. And so quite honestly, that's a little bit, and I've done it. That's what drives the builders nuts. I tell my building partners, drop them off. We'll tell you when they're ready.
Drop them off.
I mean, we'll take care of them.
Okay.
And so
That's great.
you go build. And then what we'll do is we'll get the plans, and we do, if there is a budget, even starting with the lot. I get calls for lots on a daily basis. And people will say, hey, how much is it for this lot? And I'll explain to them what the restrictive covenants are. And then I immediately ask the question. I'll say, I don't care what your budget is, but if you tell me what your budget is, and when I say budget, I mean house, lot, landscaping, move in and hang up the pictures. What is your range? Because that way I cannot point you in the wrong direction. Because
Right.
I will get people that are looking at $250,000 lots and they want to build a $500,000 house. That doesn't work.
Right.
What they want to build wouldn't even meet the covenants. It wouldn't be big enough.
Right.
And
To a
so
larger extent, it's the same thing we deal with a little bit.
it's the same thing in rooftop real estate. And that's another misnomer. I love this one. Some of my competition, and I love competition, they'll say, oh, Joel, he just sells lots. Well, yeah, that's one of the things I do, but I also, a lot of my clients, the fourth component of what I do, sell to departure residents.
Yeah.
There are cases where through the consultation part, we'll find out, do you need to sell your house first before you can even buy the lot? Do we need to find temporary housing for you? Do I need to buy your house and you live in it, and then I'll sell it when we're all said and done? You ask about the time frame. We've cranked out plans in 24 hours. We've cranked out plans in 24 months.
Wow.
There are some that are substantial in the planning process. And then the third part of what you ask is as far as picking the builder. If they have a builder, that's fantastic. Stay with your builder. The nice part about coming to us for the plan is it's their plan. They can take it to anybody they want.
Right.
And I let them know that hey, if you design with a builder, that's fantastic. If you know you're staying with them. But if for some reason you change course, you may not be the owner of that plan.
And Core Real Estate, tell us how you came up with the name. Not to mention that it's Core Real Estate.
That's it, yeah. So I've got my doing business as, and so core real estate, core companies doing business as Core Real Estate, core companies doing business as Core Drafting, and then Core Lot Store. It was previously known as My Lot Store. It is a well-known fact that, for lack of better terms, lot shopping stinks. It's hard to find lots.
It's definitely different than trying to find a home.
It's way different. And then and right, wrong, or otherwise, half the lots in this town are not listed on MLS. The developers have their own sales force, and that's fantastic. The problem is finding them.
Yeah.
And so I developed a lot aggregate site that used to be called My Lot Store. Well, with the rebrand, putting everything under Core, it's now Core Lot Store. And I'm not going to give away too many trade secrets, but what it does is it shows every empty lot in the city limits of Sioux Falls.
Oh, cool.
Doesn't mean they're for sale, and you can also sort them by development name. So people are very territorial. It's visual. You look at the map, you can click on the dots and it'll zoom you in. It will show future developments, anything that is preliminarily approved through the city. Those will be in gray. All those little lots are in gray because they are not platted yet. Anything that's in blue has been platted. Those are ready to go. Again, doesn't mean they're for sale, but at least it makes you directionally correct. You know where to go.
Right.
Well, I was most impressed with you when we referred some clients over to you and your diligence in following up with them and being able to help them. I think what we were finding, first of all, is it's difficult to help them build it or buy it. And they don't even know if they want to build it or buy it. So I think having your expertise is really going to help us a lot. And most importantly, it's going to give the homeowner the best customer service and the best experience, because I know for Tim and I couldn't even imagine at this point in my life taking a person from building the lot to the hanging up the pictures. And I'm just so impressed with your company and your
Thank you.
style that you've created. And that's why we wanted to work with you, and hopefully we'll work some magic this summer as we're getting launched here with High Tech Realty, and we look forward to creating more opportunities to work with our clients together.
Yeah, and there's, I like the name High Tech Realty. One of the things that we do for all realtors in town, and I always say my shop is your shop, we can do extreme virtual makeovers on existing properties. There are people that come into the open house and they like the house, but I'm like, but what? Well, what would it look like with this? We can redraw the front of a house so fast. And just, what do you want? What do you want for finishes? Stone, stucco, drive it. You want to change the roof pitch. I mean, we can go from very simple to the absolute extreme.
Well, that really excites me, Joel, because right now, as we're all finding out, that the market is just filled with contingent homes. They're under contract sometimes within 24 hours. So we were trying to go towards maybe redevelopment of some dilapidated and or just needing some tender loving care. I had no idea that you did that, so I appreciate learning more from you every time we see you.
All right.
Yeah, and that's inside, outside, doesn't matter. I mean, we can do makeovers on any part of the home, and we're doing them nationwide, honestly. We've got technology that allows them to take pictures, and it dimensions it automatically. So we work with people in Delaware, Ohio.
Nice.
That's very impressive.
We're having fun.
Yeah, very impressive. Yeah.
Thank you for being on our show, Joel. We really hope that we'll be able to continue to work together in the future, and we hope that we'll visit our show again sometime in the future, because we're going to come out and go live on one of your sites, I think.
Sounds great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. Yep. Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks for coming, Joel.
My pleasure.